Hi everybody. Yep, I'm back. Um, with another video. I have just finished watching the season finale for Picard, and so this is going to be kind of a review of the last two episodes and the whole season as a whole. Well, so overall, Picard season. I think I think overall my I started off with great hopes, and I think the first few episodes I was quite happy with. I thought it was getting a bit slow, and then it kind of picked up pace, and the last four episodes had a lot of meat. My my biggest issue now, especially in the final, and the final kind of encapsulates all the issues I had with the whole season. There's some great ideas. There's some concepts, some storylines that when you read on paper. If it was on paper, it looked like epic. Yeah, we've got the Romulans coming here to wipe out the children of Data. Starfleet's going to come to the rescue. Picard's going to sacrifice himself. All sound like great ideas. The execution is just terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I kind of jotted down some quick notes so that I would it won't be a rant. If I was going to give it a final score, so I think the first two episodes I was giving them a 7.5 maybe, but overall now I can't justify 7 for the whole season as a whole. I just can't. I'm gonna have to mark it down, and at best, and to be frank, I can't even give it 6.5. I think right now at best it's a 6/10, which is to me terrible for where it started off with and the promise it had. It had a promise of it started to me with as a 7, with the promise of easily becoming an 8 or 9, and then it went in a direction. A good example in this finale of this is just terrible writing. There's no excuse. It's just bad writing. They literally introduce in this episode. I want to say halfway through, or maybe 20 minutes in, they introduce a new device. This device is basically a wish fulfillment device. You might as well have a genie in the bottle who grants you wishes. Yeah, it's a device that you think of something and it does it. There's a suddenly mentioned in this one episode, and you guess it. By the end of this episode, this device is the saving grace and saves the whole day. This device that came out of nowhere, no backstory to it, no history of it, just pops out, can do anything, and yes, we're going to use it in the end to save ourselves. It's stupid in the extreme, and it's just lazy writing. Lazy writing. Oh God! I mean, that was the worst example. It's not the only example in this finale, and it's not the example throughout the whole season. But this is just worst example. I'm going to mention Jurati. So Jurati basically just killed. Jurati in a couple of episodes back killed Bruce Maddox. We're now meant to believe she did this either some form of either compulsion that she rapidly got over, or she did it because she believed in the danger, but then later on she didn't believe it anymore, and now she's just walking around kissing everybody, no harm done. She's not under arrest by anybody, nothing. No, she just killed that person, and it's game over. It's ridiculous, just ridiculous. The whole in the finale, so they make this big show of Picard willing to sacrifice himself to protect the Data's children, the Siths. Now it's totally unnecessary. This whole show of him, I'm sacrificing for you to show you that humanity is on your side, not all organics. It's actually quite a stupid reason. I mean, it probably looked good on paper, but the point is, At no point did anybody actually even just logically turn around to these to Soji and go, hang a minute. You keep on talking about how all organics want to kill you. Hang on a minute, only the Romulans want to kill you. What are you talking about? We now know that the Romulans had a spy in Federation, and they're the ones who sent somebody to kill the first contacts we had with your guys. This is all been Romulan plot. It's not all organic. It's just Romulans, and yet based on that, you want to wipe out the whole organics in the whole of the galaxy. The point is, nobody even made the argument. So, if I was writing that, you could still write that. You could still write that argument. You could make the humans make the argument, and then let there be some counter arguments from the Siths saying no, we don't believe you. But nobody even made the argument. So they could just say, yeah, organics always want to wipe out Siths, and nobody even countered it, not once. And just making sure, hang on, Data was a Starfleet. We looked after, Starfleet looked after Data. He was a crew member. He was beloved. Starfleet created Siths who were being used to build the Mars flotilla. Starfleet never had any issues against Sith until the Sith turned, which we now know was part of the Roman plot. And that's another thing. They never really even addressed that. Yeah. We now know by inference, yes, the Romulans are the ones who reprogrammed the Siths and they attacked. But you actually have to infer it. It's never even stated anywhere. And I'm not even sure that I'm not even sure that I'm not inferring that simply because I've read. I thought I had the Picard book. No, this is a Loki book. I thought I had the Picard book. I read there's a novel, a Picard novel, set just before this series starts. The issue is it's never addressed. There's another issue. Things are just glossed over. They do a lot of glossing over of things in here. I'm trying to remember the name of the bad android, the sexy Soji, I'll call her. I can't remember her name. She was taken out so easily. It's almost like she didn't have any of the fighting skills Soji or Dodge have, and even none of the other data or androids seem to have it. I just found that a bit strange. Oh God. So basically, Picard makes this big display of I'm going to sacrifice myself. The issue he has in his brain is conveniently now going to kill him. At the same time, he's trying to save. He's facing down the Romulan fleet. No, oh God, he's facing down the Romulan fleet, and at the very last minute, I mean, I'm not going to go into details of what happened. He used this device I'm talking about, to kind of hold off the Romulan fleet. Probably held off the Romulan fleet for like not even a minute, which apparently was enough time to the whole of Starfleet just turned up, like tons of shit, came in fine. Now, at this very moment, he then has this, he's dying. Now, another thing, Starfleet appear to face the Romulan fleet. And Starfleet is telling the Romulans to stand down, and they say no, to stand down. And then on the surface, Picard's plea to Soji that listen, look, I was willing to die for you guys. It's enough for her to shut the portal she's just opened to where this so-called very advanced, super advanced synth life lives, and we're about to come and rescue. Well, I say rescue. According to what we know, they would have come in and wiped out all organic life and then rescued Data's children. But due to the plea, Soji, rethought about it. And it's weird that it was Soji. Soji was never really anti-humans until she got to this place. And all of a sudden, she's like the leader and she's making decisions stupid. But, it should have been the sexy Soji in that position doing all of this. But anyway, she's turned by Picard's plea, obviously, and she shuts the portal. And then the Romulans, so faced with the fact that the portal has been shut, and the fact that Starfleet are now ready to defend this planet, the Romulans just say, okay, we'll go. Now I'm thinking, hey man, this is Jacques Vache or whatever you call these people. You've made us to understand that they have a pathological hatred of sin, like something's like been made them go mad. Made a lot of them go mad. It's something they've been harboring for hundreds and hundreds of years. They're ready to sacrifice their lives. Why would they just turn around because, oh, okay, she said, no, they will die there. I would fully expect them to attack no matter what, try and wipe out that nest. Now they just turned and went. Oh yeah, another thing, they turned and left. And guess what? The whole Starfleet fleet also turned around and left. Literally, they all left. So now all of a sudden the planet's still the planet's undefended. All we could take is another 2 more Romulan ships to just come back, or they could have been cloaked and just uncloak and then wipe out the whole nest. Another stupid thing, but I think I'm over analysing this. There's just a lot of things. I mean, even the cube, the Borg cube. I mean, it seems to me that the Borg cube was just left on this planet with the XBs, and 7 of 9 left with Picard and his new crew. So what, are the XBs now just going to be on this planet fending for themselves? I mean, what's happening to them? Again, nothing's mentioned, just totally glossed over. And now Picard, he's dying. The I can't remember the name of the disease. He's dying, and they basically, the show basically goes Westworld. Yeah, you've all heard about Westworld. They basically make a copy of Picard's brain and put it in an android body. Well, not even an android. Yeah, an android's body. It's like Westworld. Wait a minute. This is Star Trek. I mean, you've opened that box. You can't close it again. So what you're saying now? There's a technology in the Star Trek universe to copy people's memories, people's memory that is, and put them in full bodies, and they can have to walk around. So really, why are people dying? I know they make a big fuss about, oh yeah, this body is not, you're not going to live forever. We've designed it to end very, in a few years' time, so you just live to your normal age should have been, which they kind of again gloss over. We don't know what's that 100 years. I mean, in Starfleet times, do people live to 150? I don't know. But basically now they've opened this kind of worms where they've got the technology to create bodies, and you can store people's memories in it. Now there's an argument that who knows about this? Okay, just these people here. But Picard's now basically a walking robot. He might as well have just walked off one of the parks in Westworld. Again, I think just lazy. I thought it was just lazy writing. Totally lazy writing. I would have been more. I would have been more impressed. I'm not impressed. I would have been more satisfied and less of an issue if they simply said, "Oh, they had some on this planet. The civs have come up with some much better medical technologies and treatments and hence they could treat the condition he had. Not just, oh yeah, you died, but we copied your brain and put it in this machine." Oh God. Oh yeah, one thing I did like about, well, I did like a few things in this episode, even though I'm ranting about it. Data got a secondary death scene. Now, in a way, it was actually a suicide. He basically committed suicide or asked Picard to kill him, or let's call it assisted death. I've kind of got some issues with the concept of what they did here, but they did do it in a way that was kind of touching. And this is the point. They throughout this whole episode and series, they've been trying to tug at our heart, and a lot of time it was missing a mark, and that's because they didn't earn it. The relationship between Picard and JL, I kind of bought, and I think that was slightly earned. And for me, it was a lot more earned because I read the book, which is preceding. So, but I think even the show did a bit more to earn that relationship, a bit more to earn the relationship between Picard and Soji. Yes, I bought that. But a lot of the relationship between Jurati and Rios, didn't buy it. Is it Ilua? The male ninja nun person. Again, the bond they were trying to show us that there was a bond now between him and 709, which I can understand, the bond in fact that was forged in battle, but I don't think it was earned. I wasn't buying it, and there's a lot of that going around. So, but they just given a death scene, and I liked it. I just wish it wasn't kind of spoiled by all the other things that had gone before it. What did I like about the finale? I was thinking, oh god, I have to think about it. To be honest, I don't think there is. I think there's a lot of expectations, and the things that did happen that went well, they were okay. 7 of 9 killing Narek's sister. I can't remember what her name is. It's okay. It wasn't the best. I wanted the fight scene, not great. Oh, the whole football thing with the bomb in it, it's okay. Again, not great. They did. They did actually. Look, at one point, I thought Eldin Sung for 1 minute. There was one in the beginning. I actually thought he was Law for a second. He did. There was a time when he looked at the screen and he had this little like smirk. I thought it was Law, but no, I was wrong. It wasn't Law. He was good. So that was the finale. Not impressed, and I think taken as a whole, I think the season fell short for me. Good concept. I just think it was bad writing. I think I can only put it down to the writing. A lot of the directing was bad as well. Some episodes, and I've said this before, where a lot of the editing and how to edit between scenes and things are not really explained and things are very vague. You don't know what's going on. That happened quite a lot through the episode. So I did have some issues with some of the. I mean, what were my favorite episode? I think when I think back now, I think episode 1 I loved, totally loved it. I think 2 kept the mystery going, and let me try and remember what these episodes were, so that I'm not just guessing. And so yes, so 1 I didn't mind. 2, Maps and Legends. I loved 3. I think was a 3. What was 3? Felt. Oh yeah, so 3. Oh yeah, I did enjoy 3 actually. Yeah, I think it was 3. I think 3 was good. 4 was one of my 4 was one of my enjoyed. So 4 is the one where we meet the sister, the Romulan sister nuns. I loved the whole episode. We've had a lot about Romulans in the episode. Quite enjoyed that. I did not like Stardust City. Didn't like that at all. Yeah, I did not like that one episode. I think that's the one with Rafi and her son, and then they go and try. They go to this. I think it was a Free Cloud. They try to go find Bruce Maddox, which they do find. I find the whole episode was terrible, especially with them with their disguises and all. Didn't like it at all. Episode 6, which one's that one? The Impossible Box. Oh yes, this was not bad as well. Actually, now that I'm looking back on it, some of them are not. I think I'm letting the finale, cloud my judgment. I like the Impossible Box. So that one had issues, but I also like a lot of it. So this is the one where Soji finally comes awake and has to kind of Picard rescues her. That was not bad. Quite like that. Some issues with the editing again with Elna. There was some bad writing in there as well. But didn't mind that one. And then episode 7 is the one that had quite a lot of good things in it, but had a lot of bad things. So this is one where we understand what happened to Jurati, and this is one where I say there's a lot of what exactly happened with Jurati and O. Did O put a compulsion in your mind, or did she just simply show you what they'd seen and it confused you, or you brain damage? It was just a whole bit of a mess, and in the end, one of the best scenes and worst scenes is also in this episode in the ball cube. So this is where we have 7 of 9 become a ball queen, And when she said "We are Borg," or the echo, oh, I love that. I had chills. But then literally, the Romulans basically spaced most of the most of the Borg in it, and it just made her look like she could accomplish more. She ended up only saving a handful of XPs. That scene could have been rewritten totally to be a lot more badass. It's a Borg Q we're talking about here, but again, they kind of let themselves down. Totally. Oh yeah, 8 some explanation, and then in that 8, 9, and 10, kind of overall, kind of went the way the finale went. I think I've spoken a lot longer than I expected to speak on this. Bottom line is, I think I'm now feeling a bit let down. Um, Going through the episodes now, maybe 6 was a bit harsh. It's definitely not a 7. 6.5, which is still a disappointment. Still a disappointment for me. Overall, as a season, 6.5. And a lot of it is just it's down to bad writing. And I'm looking at the writers here now, and it looks like most of it was written by Michael Chabon. There's a few where okay, no, yeah, he wrote most of them. So the ones with Akiva, let me just see the ones with Akiva. The first 2 were with Akiva. Number 9 is also Akiva, and no, so the first 2 are okay. Yeah, I'm trying to look for a trend of the episodes that I like the most and see if any of them, if there's anything in common. But no, there's not really. Yeah, so I can't even say why the writers all over the shop. I'm just gonna say this now. Maybe it's all down to Michael Chabon or however he calls his name. Maybe he's just not that great a writer. I'm gonna say. If anybody knows what his work is or any of the stories written that are great, please let me know. And I'm just gonna stop this video here and saying, well, I'm gonna be here for next season, being a Trekkie. So what do I know? And then maybe I'll see you guys when I'm reviewing Discovery. Laters.